Welcome back to the conclusion of Season 2, Episode 2 of Blank Space. Today we're digging up the unexplainable, past and present. Strange finds, strange times, let's get into it. Whether it's ancient artifacts or modern breakthroughs, weird is what we do best. Hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And join the hunt for the unexplainable. Because you never know what interesting content awaits in every new episode of Blank Space, where my space is your space too.
Next stop, we're hopping over the Philippines tonight, heading to our extended Wild and Wacky Global segment. We have a lot of wild and wacky world events to get through tonight. For starters, we're going to be unveiling some astonishing archaeological discoveries. Prepare to be amazed as we delve into some of the most groundbreaking archaeological discoveries, each one reshaping our understanding of ancient history. These finds are not just relics of the past. They are keys unlocking the mysteries of civilizations long gone, offering insights that make us say, wow, cool. Let's start with the enigmatic discovery of the London Hammer, a modern-looking hammer encased in ancient rock. This artifact, found in London, Texas, has sparked debates about its origins and age. The hammer appears to be of modern design, yet the rock encasing it is believed to be over 100 million years old. Some speculate it could be evidence of time travel or an ancient advanced civilization, although skeptics argue that natural processes might explain its peculiar encasement. Regardless of its true origins, the London Hammer remains a captivating mystery that challenges our understanding of history.
Glen Rose, Texas. This rural southern town has a population of only 2,500, but may hold one of the most incredible archaeological artifacts ever found. At the Creation Evidence Museum is an ancient hammer known as the London Artifact, named after the central Texas town where it was discovered in 1936.
The hammer itself was found in the Travis Formation. It's a concretion of sandstone. And it usually takes about 140 million years for this to form. That would put it at 140 million years old.
Mainstream scientists contend that the first modern humans emerged only 200,000 years ago. But if so, how is it possible that such an artifact exists? The hammer was scientifically analyzed in the 1980s by two independent labs, the Creation Science Foundation based in Australia and the Battelle Memorial Laboratory in Columbus, Ohio. Incredibly, both labs concluded that the hammer could indeed be over 100 million years old.
Part of the handle actually is starting to go through a process called coalification. It's where you have inorganic material and organic material changing into coal. This is something that just simply can't happen in the span of, say, 100 years. Like most people saying, oh, this is nothing more than a hammer that was left behind by a would-be prospector from the mid-1800s.
In addition to coalification, the handle of the hammer shows signs of petrification. This process of the organic wood being replaced by mineral crystals takes millions of years. Test results concluded that the material on the hammerhead consisted of 96.6% iron, 2.6% chlorine, and less than 1% sulfur. Incredibly, this material contained no carbon to indicate modern manufacturing.
When we were making steel for tools, part of the process is to use a blast furnace to remove carbon out of it completely, but we always have about 0.2 to 2% left over. There's always a carbon signature on our steel, but there wasn't any carbon whatsoever that was found in this particular material.
This object may be as old as 140 million years, And obviously, that's a crazy proposition if you think that modern-day archaeology suggests that we've only been around for about 10,000 years, creating stuff with our own hands. So this falls into the category of out-of-place artifacts. Artifacts that shouldn't exist.
If the London hammer really dates back to over 100 million years, as the data suggests, this find would have to fundamentally reshape our understanding of human development on planet Earth.
But that's not all. Let's turn our attention to an ancient technological marvel that continues to baffle scientists and historians alike: the Antikythera mechanism. Discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of Greece in 1901, this intricate device dates back over 2,000 years and is often referred to as the world's first analog computer. The mechanism was used to predict astronomical positions and eclipses decades in advance, showcasing the advanced understanding of celestial movements by the ancient Greeks. Its complexity rivals that of 18th century clocks, yet it was created in an era when such technology was thought to be impossible. This find challenges our perceptions of ancient technological capabilities and continues to inspire awe and wonder.
The Aegean Sea, 1900. Just off the coast of the small Greek island of Antikythera, a group of Greek divers are hunting for sea sponges when they come across the remains of an ancient shipwreck. Dozens of priceless artifacts were salvaged from the wreckage, including one object that defied explanation. It was the remains of a coral-encrusted wooden and bronze box that, curiously, looked like a clock.
They looked, and there were gear wheels inside this bronze. It was obvious from the rest of the stuff on the wreck that this was from the classical world, but the gear wheels were not known from the classical world. And it was then that they realized that this particular piece of bronze was something special.
The artifact was sent to the National Museum of Archaeology in Athens. Archaeologists dated it to the 2nd century BC, along with the other relics found in the wreck. But they were unable to determine what function the geared object served. For more than 50 years, its purpose remained a mystery. But in 1951, British physicist Derek John de Solla Price began a careful examination of the artifact and found something astonishing. The box contained the workings of a highly sophisticated device. In 2005, an international team of researchers used cutting-edge scanning technology to obtain a detailed 3D image of the device's inner workings.
The X-ray tomography clearly laid out what the gear trains must have been, and also a complete reading of basically all the surviving inscriptions on the device. And it's clear from those inscriptions that it was intended that the mechanism should display the positions of the planets, as well as the sun and the moon.
The Antikythera mechanism is an astronomical computing device that also visualized the revolutions in the time periods of the sun, the moon, and the 5 planets that were visible in antiquity. So via the gear work, it mimics the rotation of the sun and the moon and the planets.
Now, let's explore one of the most tantalizing mysteries in archaeology: the Copper Scroll. Unearthed at the site of Qumran in 1952, this ancient scroll is not made of papyrus or parchment, but of copper, and it lists a series of over 60 hidden treasures. The scroll's text describes vast quantities of gold and silver hidden in the various locations, sparking endless speculation about its origins and the existence of the treasure. Some believe it could be a treasure map left by Jewish rebels during the Roman Empire's control, while others see it as an elaborate hoax. The Copper Scroll remains an enigma, inviting treasure hunters and historians alike to unlock its secrets.
The Copper Scroll is a component of the amazing collection of documents from the 1st century that were found in Qumran caves and are commonly referred to as the Dead Sea Scrolls. But the Qumran library's other documents are not at all like the Copper Scroll. Scholars believe it was placed in the cave at a separate time than the other ancient writings because it is so unusual among the Dead Sea Scrolls. Its author, handwriting, style, language, genre, content, and medium all differ from the other scrolls. Professor Richard Freund said that the Copper Scroll is probably the most important, the most unique, and the least understood. An archaeologist uncovered the Copper Scroll, which is currently on exhibit at the Jordan Museum in Amman. But Bedouins found the majority of the Dead Sea Scrolls. On March 14, 1952, it was discovered in Qumran, behind Cave 3. It is known as 3Q15, since it was the final of the 15 scrolls found in the cave. This scroll was written on metal, a mixture of copper and roughly 1% tin, as opposed to the other scrolls, which were written on papyrus or paper. Since traditional methods could not be used to unroll the corroded metal, the scroll was divided into 23 strips in 1955, and then stitched back together. Its language seemed distinct from the others. The Hebrew had more in common with the Mishnah's language than with the literary Hebrew of the other Dead Sea Scrolls. The person who had overseen the scroll's opening, John Marco Allegro, quickly typed up its contents. Then it became evident that its content was extremely distinctive. The Copper Scroll had a list on it, unlike the other scrolls which were literary masterpieces. This was no typical list. Instead, it included directions to 64 spots with incredible amounts of riches to be discovered. 63 of the places mention estimated gold and silver treasures in the metric ton range. 3 places had scrolls, and tithing vessels are mentioned among the other vessels in the entries. It seems that priestly robes are mentioned in one entry. The scroll lists more than 4,600 talents of precious metal in total, indicating a total value of more than $1 billion. Many expeditions have gone out to uncover the valuable cache, which has led to one of the largest treasure hunts in history because of the Copper Scroll.
These astonishing archaeological discoveries remind us that history is a living tapestry woven with the threads of human experience and innovation. Each find not only enriches our understanding of the past, but also inspires us to reflect on the enduring legacy of human creativity and resilience. As we continue to unearth the secrets of ancient civilizations, we're reminded of the shared heritage that connects us all, transcending time and geography. So stay curious and keep exploring, because who knows what other wonders lie buried beneath the sands of time, waiting to astound us all. To cap off our journey of wild and wacky archaeological discoveries, the mystery of the time-traveling manuscript. Today we delve into one of the most intriguing and unexplained mysteries in the realm of archaeology, a manuscript that defies the boundaries of time, known as the Voynich manuscript. This enigmatic book has baffled scholars and cryptographers for centuries. Discovered in the early 20th century, this manuscript is filled with strange illustrations and written in an unknown language or code that is yet to be deciphered. What's truly astonishing is that some of the plants and astronomical diagrams depicted in this manuscript do not correspond to any known species or constellations, leading some to speculate that it might be evidence of time travel or contact with another worldly civilization.
Have you ever encountered a mystery so profound, so complex, that it baffles the brightest minds of our generation? The Voynich manuscript is such a conundrum. This curious artifact was first unearthed in the year 1912 by a Polish book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich. With its pages filled to the brim with an indecipherable script and intricate illustrations, it presents a puzzle that has captivated and frustrated scholars for over a century. The text of the manuscript is written in an unknown language or code, a language that has never been seen before or since. Despite countless hours of research and analysis, the text remains as elusive as ever, refusing to yield its secrets. This has led to the Voynich manuscript being dubbed the most mysterious book in the world. But it's not just the text that's puzzling. The manuscript is also filled with detailed and beautiful illustrations depicting a variety of plants, astronomical symbols, and strange humanoid figures. Yet these illustrations only deepen the mystery, as the plants cannot be identified with any known species, and the astronomical symbols do not correspond to any known constellations or celestial bodies.
What the Voynich manuscript is very difficult to say, because nobody has been able to read a word of it for 400 and some years.
Over the years, a multitude of theories have been proposed to explain the manuscript's origins and contents. Some suggest it's a medieval herbal, others argue it's a coded alchemical text, and there are even those who believe it's an elaborate hoax. Despite the wide range of theories, none have been able to provide a definitive explanation. Numerous attempts have been made to decode the manuscript using modern technology. Cutting-edge AI tools and scientific methods have been brought to bear on its pages, in the hope of finally revealing its secrets. The Voynich manuscript remains an enigma, a puzzle waiting to be solved, a mystery begging to be unraveled. Now, you may ask, what does this mean? Well, the implications of this similarity are profound. It suggests that the Voynich manuscript, with its indecipherable text and intricate illustrations, might not be the work of an alien civilization or a product of divine intervention. Instead, it could be a creation of our own species, an artifact from an ancient civilization that walked the same earth as we do. But then, why is it so hard to decipher? And why does it contain knowledge of plants and humanoid figures that seem foreign to us? Could it be that this manuscript is a window into our forgotten past? Or is it a glimpse into a parallel civilization that coexisted with ours, unknown and undiscovered? The presence of humanoid figures in the manuscript adds another layer of mystery, suggesting a connection to our own species. As we delve deeper into the enigma that is the Voynich manuscript, we are left with more questions than answers. But isn't that the very nature of mystery, to entice us, to challenge us, and to push us to never stop exploring? Now, prepare to venture into the realm of the extraordinary with a fascinating theory, the hollow Earth hypothesis. This theory, as old as the hills and as mysterious as the midnight sky, postulates that our planet is not a solid sphere, but rather a hollow shell with vast, unexplored regions beneath our feet. For centuries, stories have circulated about lost civilizations thriving in these subterranean worlds. Could the Voynich manuscript's origins lie within such a hollow Earth? The idea may seem far-fetched, but consider this. The manuscript's intricate illustrations, its indecipherable text, and the presence of humanoid figures all hint at knowledge far beyond the ordinary. Scientific research and historical evidence have often hinted at the existence of subterranean worlds. From seismic data suggesting large, empty spaces beneath the Earth's crust, to ancient myths around the globe, could these individuals be descendants of an inner Earth civilization? Their existence, if proven true, might well hold the key to interpreting the Voynich manuscript and substantiating the hollow Earth hypothesis. As we delve deeper into the Voynich manuscript, we find ourselves on a journey not just through the pages of a cryptic book, but potentially through the layers of our own planet. A journey that takes us from the realm of the known to the unknown, from the surface to the depths, and from the world of facts to the world of theories. As we continue to unravel the mysteries of the Voynich manuscript, we are led to speculate about secrets hidden beneath the surface of our own planet. The hollow Earth hypothesis, although controversial, opens up a whole new world of possibilities, and the Voynich manuscript, enigmatic as ever, continues to fuel this quest for knowledge. Remember, the truth is often stranger than fiction. In the face of such profound mysteries, curiosity becomes our greatest ally.
The allure of the Voynich manuscript lies not just in its cryptic content, but in its potential implications. If it were to be a genuine artifact from a time traveler, it could suggest that knowledge of the future or alien species was somehow recorded centuries ago. While skeptics argue that it might simply be an elaborate hoax or an artistic creation with no real meaning, the manuscript continues to captivate the imagination of those who encounter it. Its mysterious origins and undeciphered text make it a tantalizing puzzle that challenges our understanding of history and the possibilities of time travel. The manuscript's discovery has sparked numerous theories, ranging from it being a medieval attempt at creating a new language to it being a repository of lost knowledge from an advanced civilization. Despite countless attempts to decode it using modern technology and cryptographic techniques, the Voynich manuscript remains unsolved, its secrets locked away in its pages. This enduring mystery invites us to ponder the limits of human understanding and the tantalizing possibility that time travel, or at least the knowledge of it, might be hidden within the annals of history. As we explore these mysteries, we're reminded of the boundless curiosity that drives us to seek answers in the enduring allure of the unknown. The Voynich manuscript stands as a testament to the enigmatic nature of history and the endless possibilities that lie within it. So, as we continue to unravel the secrets of the past, who knows what revelations await us? Humanity is curious by nature, and that keeps us exploring for the mysteries of time and history, and means it's far from over. Now, for our final story tonight, the rise of ghost ships. In recent years, the haunting phenomena of ghost ships has surged, leaving maritime experts and authorities puzzled and concerned. The Japanese Coast Guard has reported around 200 instances of ghost ships, with many of these vessels found adrift carrying the remains of their crews. These ghostly vessels are often linked to defectors from North Korea who risk everything to escape across the treacherous seas, only to meet a tragic end. The Sea of Japan has become a graveyard of sorts, with weathered wooden boats washing ashore, their occupants long deceased. These vessels, often ill-equipped for the journey, tell a tale of desperation and the human cost of political oppression. But Japan isn't the only country grappling with this eerie trend. Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, ghost ships have become a tool for nations like Russia and Iran to bypass international sanctions. These vessels, often old and decrepit, turn off their automatic identification systems, or AIS, to avoid detection while transporting oil and other goods. The risks associated with these ghost ships are immense, as they engage in dangerous maneuvers and are prone to accidents. What's particularly alarming is the sophistication of these operations. Shell companies are set up to register these vessels, creating a complex web of ownership that's difficult to untangle. Some ships even engage in spoofing, broadcasting false AIS data to appear as if they're in a different location entirely. This cat-and-mouse game between ghost ships and international authorities has turned vast swaths of our oceans into high-stakes playgrounds for deception.
The boat washed ashore eerily empty, bearing clues it had come from North Korea. Among the tangled fishing nets, a message in Korean, urging hard work today to enjoy tomorrow. More than 100 of these ghost ships have made it to Japan this past year. It's insanity, he says. If we used those boats, we wouldn't go 3 miles from here. But these ghost ships have traveled a stunning 650 miles across fierce currents. For Seitaro Yamashita, it wasn't the wreckage near his house that bothered him. It was the rotting bodies of 3 North Korean fishermen in the cove. It's all so unsettling, he says.
Why they're going so far out to sea and what's happening on board remains a mystery. What's known is that these boats are washing up on Japan's shores in record numbers, and people here are spooked.
A wooden ghost ship washed up on Japan's coast, and inside were the disturbing remains of the crew. Mysterious boats thought to belong to fishermen have been beaching on Japanese shores for some years now. Known as ghost ships, these vessels have been appearing with increasing frequency since 2013. And 33 ships were discovered either beached or stranded in Japanese water in November 2017 alone, all of them on the western coast of Japan's main island of Honshu. The two prefectures of Honshu's west coast where these fishing boats tend to appear are Akita and Ishikawa. These regions overlook the Sea of Japan. Across that sea, more than 500 miles distant, lies the eastern coast of North Korea. And that, it seems, is where these ghost boats originate. In one incident in November 2017, 8 North Korean fishermen were found ashore near a harbor in Akita Prefecture. Their wooden vessel had drifted ashore in the city of Urihanjo. The severely damaged ship was found near these shipwrecked men, who were lucky to be alive. It's quite rare for live North Korean fishermen to be found on Japanese territory. Those found at Urihanjo City were the first since 2015. They told Japanese authorities they had been fishing in the Sea of Japan for squid, but their boat had developed a problem. Consequently, they drifted on currents to the Japanese coast. There's no doubt that these fishermen rescued by the Japanese were extremely fortunate. Their fate could have been far worse. Also in November 2017, on Monday 27th, another boat, this time a fully fledged ghost ship, was washed ashore. When Japanese officials examined the 23-foot vessel, they made a gruesome find. On board this particular ship, which beached near the city of Oga in Akita Province, were 8 crew members. All of them were dead, with some of the bodies reduced to nothing more than skeletal remains. And the preceding weekend had seen the discovery of 2 more bodies on Sado Island. The bodies had possessions with North Korean branding. Subsequently, the death toll from this macabre list of maritime tragedies just keeps on mounting. A ship that washed ashore at Kagami City on November 12, 2017, brought the total of ghost ships landing on the Japanese coast to 83 for the year. And that was the second ship that had appeared on that very day. When the police and Coast Guard officers went to investigate the boat that had landed on the shore of Katagami City in Akita Province, they made yet another harrowing discovery. It had 2 bodies, which had clearly been dead for some time, aboard. The clothing on one of the bodies had a badge with the face of the late Kim Jong-il, former North Korea leader and father of the current dictator, Kim Jong-un. In what was a tragic early December, other finds included a boat that beached at Kashiwazaki City in Niigata Province, another prefecture overlooking the Sea of Japan, located across the sea from North Korea. That 35-foot boat had a corpse aboard, and this unfortunate was wearing a badge showing Korea's first dictator, Kim Il-sung, grandfather of Kim Jong-un. But what is driving this mounting number of North Korean ghost ships beaching on the western coastal provinces of Japan? The answer may well lie with the increasing pressure that the North Korean regime is feeling because of the economic sanctions imposed on it by the United Nations. One specific UN Security Council sanction against North Korea bans the selling of seafood catches abroad. Describing the plight of North Korean fishermen to CNN, Marcus Noland of the Peterson Institute of International Economics said, "They're having to rendezvous with foreign vessels in international waters to sell their catches on the high sea so it can be relabeled as from Japan or South Korea." And the unfortunate fishermen of North Korea are under severe pressure from their own government. Robert King, who was previously the U.S. Special Envoy for North Korean human rights, told CNN if they, the fishermen, don't catch what they're supposed to, if they're behind, if they lose control of the boat, they'll be punished.
In 2023 alone, over 40 incidents involving ghost ships have been reported. These range from engine failures and fires to collisions and explosions. One particularly chilling incident involved a ghost ship named Pablo, which exploded off the coast of Indonesia, resulting in fatalities and severe environmental damage. The ship was part of Iran's Shadow Fleet, illustrating the border geopolitical implications of ghost shipping. The Pablo incident is just the tip of the iceberg. These ghost ships often carry substandard fuel, increasing the risk of environmental disasters. Their crews are frequently underpaid and overworked, operating in dangerous conditions without proper safety measures. In some cases, crew members are essentially trapped on these vessels, unable to leave or seek help due to the illegal nature of their operations. It's a modern form of maritime hidden from the world's eyes on the vast expanse of our oceans. The increase in ghost ship activity poses significant challenges to maritime security and environmental safety. These vessels, often uninsured and unregistered, operate in a legal gray area, making it difficult to hold anyone accountable for the accidents and environmental disasters they cause. The ghost ship's elusive nature and the ties to sanctioned nations complicate efforts to regulate and monitor them. International maritime organizations are struggling to keep up. Traditional methods of tracking and identifying ships are becoming obsolete in the face of these phantom vessels. Some experts are calling for the implementation of advanced satellite technology and AI-driven monitoring systems to combat this growing threat. However, the cost and complexity of such systems present their own challenges, especially for developing nations with extensive coastlines. As nations grapple with this growing problem, the need for international cooperation and stricter enforcement of maritime laws becomes ever more critical. Ghost ships are not just a relic of maritime folklore, they are a present-day threat that demands attention and action. The mystery and danger they represent remind us of the vast uncharted waters that still hold secrets and challenges for those who dare to navigate them. Some countries are taking innovative approaches to address this issue. For instance, Indonesia has begun using drones for coastal surveillance, while the United States is experimenting with autonomous surface vessels to patrol high-risk areas. However, these efforts are still in their infancy, and the ghost ship phenomena continues to evolve. As we look to the future, it's clear that safeguarding our oceans will require not just technological advances, but also a renewed commitment to international cooperation and maritime law enforcement. As we explore these mysterious tales, let's remember that the unknown often teaches us about the world and ourselves. Embrace the mysteries, for they remind us that life is full of wonders just waiting to be discovered. Each story, whether of UFOs, ghost ships, or time travel, encourages us to keep questioning and exploring. Life is an adventure, and the more we seek, the more we learn. As a wise man once said, "What you feed is what grows." Thank you for joining me on this journey through the strange and the unexplained. In another episode of Blank Space, where my space is your space too. Please hit that like and subscribe button for me so I can improve the show for all of our beloved viewers. Heart, and most of all, stay curious. Until next week, this is Matt Blank, signing off. Good night, everybody.